When I came to the Corps Center Guard in 2008, we started off as a small 20-person unit with the main purpose of trying to preserve the history and the traditions at Texas A&M. Since then, we've grown to a unit that's over 65 and expanded our leadership opportunities to where people who are passionate for maintaining the exhibits, passionate about learning about history and telling other people about history, people who are passionate about spreading the traditions of A&M to other groups that come to visit the Corps Center, and a bunch of other opportunities that we help give to Texas A&M, to the Texas A&M faculty, students, and to fellow groups that come and visit us.
I've been the director of the Corps Center for the past 3 years. My responsibilities are basically anything that goes on in the Corps Center is my responsibility, whether that be new student conferences or dinners for the President's Board of Visitors, to book signings, to birthday parties, whatever it is, I'm responsible for it. The Corps Center Guard provides an invaluable service to the Corps Center. If I need manpower for anything from moving tables to shaking hands with dignitaries, we call them the Corps Center Guard.
September 10th, 2001, the Corps Center Guard was having a black powder shoot, and I went out and got to meet them because that was actually going to be one of the duties of my job, was to be the advisor for the Corps Center Guard. On the next day, September 11th, 2001, was when I officially signed my paperwork to work at the Corps Center, which I started on the 24th. As curator of the Corps Center, I'm responsible for the artifacts that come into the museum, for the exhibits that are on display, and then also for being the advisor for the Corps Center Guard. Also worked with booking tours and things for the Corps Center, and as well as kind of educating the Corps Center Guard on the workings of a museum.
Since then, our structure has changed to where we have 4 separate platoons, each of them having their own function that helps the Guard. We now have a maintenance platoon that's in charge of strictly the exhibits. We have a tours platoon which is in charge of training and giving tours to other groups that come to A&M and visit the Corps Center. We also have a history platoon which is in charge of maintaining the historical elements of the exhibits. And then we also have our off-campus and service platoons, so we can get out in the Bryan College Station community and kind of give us an edge to have us in the public eye, trying to expand our our involvement.
The size of the Corps Center Guard and the variety of students that are in the Corps Center Guard. The Corps Center Guard, when I got here, was pretty small, and it was pretty much dominated by the band and a couple of other outfits. Since then, we branched out into a number of outfits. I think there's like 15 outfits that are currently being represented in the Corps Center Guard, and we had 25 people sign up for the Corps Center Guard for this semester, which is a huge class. All the major units are represented now, which has never happened before. I'd see the Corps Center Guard continuing to grow. You've kind of gotten out of, when I took over as the Corps Center Director, your focus was kind of limited. You guys wore your period uniforms and you did a couple of events. But since that time, you guys have been much more involved in everything that goes on at the Corps Center. And I can see that continuing to grow.
And very much it was a family feel. Although that's one of the great things that the organization has maintained, is that family feel. Former Commandant General Van Alstyne once said that he looked at the Corps Center Guard as almost being classless. And what it meant by that wasn't in the way that they behaved, but rather in how the members really treated each other like brothers and sisters. And the way that they got along was much more of a family feel. And I'm so glad that we've maintained that over the years, that even in the decade that I've been here.
Additionally, he's the one that brought women into the Corps, brought women into the university and made the Corps optional. He basically knew that for us to actually grow and survive as a school, if not a Corps, we had to be optional, and we had to offer a choice. Additionally, when you think of rudder, you think of when you think of rudder, you think of progress, growth, and just in general. If he hadn't been here, we wouldn't have had any of this. While General Hollingsworth is most decorated Aggie, Rudder is the most influential, and who we'll always think about, no matter what we do on this campus.
I thought the guard run was really motivating, and it was really interesting because I learned a lot of history about Danger 79er, Earl Rudder, and E. King Gill that I never knew about, and if I didn't go on this guard run, I probably wouldn't have found out.
Okay.
I really liked it because it was a very relaxed environment. Just learned a lot of history, got a little PT in, a little motivating.
All right.
I also like the relaxed environment, and also I like the fact that, you know, like, we're preserving the history of someone doesn't go on these runs and get this info out of like oral tradition. No one's going to remember these things.
I like learning a little bit more about the history, you know, because most of the Corps knows the campusology, but they don't know past that. And it's a really good opportunity to get to know a little bit more.
Okay.
The opportunity to be in more depth with our traditions was very motivating for me, because I didn't even know about Danger 79er or the fact that one of the bonfire stacks exceeded the height of Ruger Tower, so that was very interesting.
I hope that the Guard maintains that family feel, that family aspect that they've always had. It's kind of funny, one of the things that I remember, and one of those things with Guard members is they'll come back and they'll visit. It's one of those great things that they do. And I've always kind of taken the approach of Dr. Coldis. For me, it's a responsibility to remember their names and the outfits they were in, and most of the time their class years as well, because as much as they're family members to each other, they're also family members to me. And a lot of Guard members have been and continue to be my friends.